You open your eyes, same ceiling, same crack in the corner you keep meaning to fix. Same alarm blinking 6:47 a.m. like it does every single day of your unremarkable little life. Nothing looks different. You lie there for a second, doing the thing everyone does, mentally rehearsing the day ahead. Traffic. That email you've been avoiding. The same lukewarm coffee waiting for you downstairs. Nothing about this morning suggests it's going to be any different from the last few thousand mornings that came before it. Then your phone buzzes. One notification. From your bank. The kind of notification you'd normally swipe away without even reading, except this time, your eyes catch the number and your thumb just stops. Not $700, not $7,000, $1.2 billion sitting in your account, like it's always been there, like it just casually wandered in overnight and made itself at home while you were asleep, not even bothering to knock. You sit up so fast you nearly pull a muscle. You check the app again, refresh it again. You're basically waiting for the little red error message that says, nice try, except it never comes. You do the thing every rational human being would do in this exact moment. You Google, can a bank account glitch at $1 billion? The search results are not comforting, mostly just stories of people who thought the same thing and immediately spent it all before the bank clawed it back. You check your other accounts, same amount. You check your identity just to make sure you're still, in fact, you. It's real. Somewhere in the last 8 hours, while you were drooling on your pillow, your entire life quietly ended and a completely different one clocked in to replace it. You're not the person who went to bed last night anymore. You just haven't gotten the memo yet. The first feeling isn't excitement, weirdly. It's disbelief, the kind where you keep waiting for a camera crew to jump out and tell you you've been pranked. You open your laptop and start doing math you've genuinely never had a reason to do before. Not can I afford this math. How do I even spend this math? It's a strange kind of problem to have. You could buy your childhood home in cash before lunch. Not put in an offer, buy it today. In the time it takes most people to finish their coffee, you could wipe out every dollar of debt your entire extended family has ever owed combined, and it wouldn't even show up as a dent. It's the financial equivalent of stepping on a Lego versus stepping on an actual landmine. You could book a first-class ticket to literally anywhere on Earth right now, on a whim with zero spreadsheet involved. No, let me check prices first. Just go. You could walk into a car dealership, point at 3 different cars, and just take them. Not because you need 3 cars, because for the first time in your life, need isn't even part of the sentence anymore. Here's the part that actually messes with your head. For the first time in your entire life, can I afford this? Simply stops being a sentence your brain generates. Restaurants stop double-checking your card. Salespeople who used to look straight through you now can't stop smiling like you're their long-lost cousin. Rooms you didn't even know existed, investor dinners, private clubs, spaces with people whose faces you've only seen in headlines, the doors just open. Like you were always supposed to be standing there, and everyone else was just waiting for you to show up. Even the small stuff feels different. You don't check the price tag anymore before you flip it over. You don't do the mental math at the grocery store. You order the thing you actually want at the restaurant instead of the second cheapest item, which, let's be honest, is what most people's whole ordering strategy has been their entire lives. This is the fantasy. This is the part everybody daydreams about in the shower, mid-shampoo, imagining a life that doesn't involve refreshing their bank app in dread before payday. You go to call your best friend to tell them the news, and your thumb just hovers over the screen. What if this changes things between you two? And that's when it actually hits you, sitting there with over $1 billion. There's a surprisingly long list of things that number still can't touch. It can't buy back the years you spent stressed and broke. Those are just gone. No refund policy on your 20s. It can't fix the relationship with your dad that's been quietly cold for a decade. Money doesn't do apologies. It doesn't know how to say, I'm sorry I missed it, any better than you did yesterday. It can't make you trust people faster. If anything, it does the opposite. Now you'll spend the rest of your life running a background check in your head on everyone who suddenly always liked you. It can't fix the habits you've spent years building, the procrastination, the imposter syndrome, the way you talk to yourself when you mess something up. A bill doesn't come with a personality upgrade. You're still, annoyingly, you just now with better lighting. It definitely can't buy you a good night's sleep. That first night you lie there staring at the same ceiling from before, except now your brain has decided 3 a.m. is the perfect time to run financial simulations you didn't ask for. You try meditation apps. You try counting something other than sheep. Nothing works because the thing keeping you up isn't a lack of money anymore. It's the sudden, terrifying abundance of choices, and choices, it turns out, are exhausting in a way debt never was. The money moved at the speed of a bank transfer. Your brain did not get the same memo. You thought the hard part was getting the money. Nobody warned you the hard part was carrying it. By week 2, something shifts. Your phone won't stop buzzing, except now half the names calling weren't in your life a month ago. Funny how that works. A distant cousin you've met twice, an old classmate who just wanted to catch up, someone from a wedding 7 years ago with a can't-miss business opportunity that, weirdly, needs your bank details by Friday. Even the people who were already in your life start acting slightly different around you, and you can't always tell if you're imagining it. Your friend orders the expensive thing at dinner without asking if that's okay this time. Someone jokes about you spotting them for something, half laughing, but not really joking. You start doing something you've never had to do before, quietly running motives on people you've known your whole life, even the ones who loved you before any of this happened. Especially them, honestly, because now you can never fully unknow the question. There's an actual clinical term for this. Financial psychologists call it sudden wealth syndrome. It's a well-documented pattern of anxiety, isolation, and paranoia that hits people almost overnight when money arrives faster than their identity can catch up. You start hearing the stories. Lottery winners broke again within 5 years. Athletes who earned more in one contract than most people see in a lifetime and ended up with nothing but a highlight reel and regret. Even a few tech founders who cashed out huge and somehow ended up more miserable than before the money. Not because the money wasn't enough, because nobody ever taught them how to hold something that heavy. You start to notice the loneliness creeping in around the edges, not dramatic, just quiet. You're in a bigger house with more rooms than you know what to do with, and somehow it feels emptier than the cramped apartment you used to complain about. You're sitting in a house you couldn't have pictured a month ago, and you're realizing money didn't hand you a new life. It handed you a new, much heavier set of problems, just wrapped in nicer packaging. Now here's where your brain is about to file a formal complaint, because everything you just felt, that was 1 billion. A trillion is 1,000 of those, stacked, on top of each other, 1,000 times. So let's actually try to spend it badly, as carelessly and stupidly as humanly possible, and see how far $1 trillion gets you. You could buy every single team in the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and the NHL. All of them, every franchise, every league, combined, and still have hundreds of billions of dollars left over, just sitting there awkwardly, like leftover pizza nobody wants to claim. You could buy Nike, then buy Starbucks, then buy McDonald's outright, not stock the entire company, board meetings and all. Combined, that's still less than $500 billion. You'd still have room for dessert. You could write a check for over $3,000 to every single person in the United States, all 330 plus million of them, and you still wouldn't be finished spending. You could buy over 300,000 brand new Bugattis, not one for you, 300,000 of them, enough to give one to every single player who has ever suited up in the NFL and NBA combined several times over, and still have a parking problem nobody has ever had before. You could fund NASA's entire annual budget for the next 30 plus years and barely feel it. You could personally cover a full 4-year college tuition private school, no scholarships needed for literally millions of students, and this would still only be a fraction of the total. You could build enough affordable housing to put a serious dent in an entire country's housing crisis, and you'd still have money sitting around collecting metaphorical dust. And here's the number that actually breaks people's brains a little. Even if you spent $1 million a day every single day, no days off, no vacation from your own recklessness, it would take you roughly 2,700 years to run out. 2,700 years. You'd blow through the fall of empires, the invention of the internet, and several unrelated apocalypses, and still have a balance.